Good evening, everyone. The pandemic set us back, disrupting our lives and leaving us about to become our reality. Getting back on its feet, Pragyan has taken a step forward to connect the exceptional minds and inspire them to work hand in hand with technology for a brighter future.
We are honored to welcome you all to the ceremony of Pragyan 22, powered by Salesforce. We take this opportunity to thank our official entertainment partner, Comedy Central, our official youth partner, Grapevine, our Tamil news partner, News 7 Tamil, our Tamil radio partners, Suryan FM, and Kalvi Malar and Dinamalar, our education news partners, for their invaluable assistance.
We have among us today our beloved director, Dr. G. Aguila, our honorable chief guest, Mr. Srinivas K., our faculty advisor, Dr. Shobita Polos, Dr. S. Muthukumaran, Dean, Research and Consultancy, Dr. N. Kumaresan, Dean, Students Welfare, Mr. Sabarinathan, Head, Pragyan Marketing Team, Ms. Dhruti Maladi, Head, Pragyan ESI, and Mr. Rakesh Verma, Council, and Mr. Vishwa Subramanian Baradan, Treasurer of Pragyan.
We call upon Hashwita from Amrita Varshini to begin the event on an auspicious note with a prayer song. Please rise.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமெதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமோ திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெருந்தமிழன் அங்கே தமிழன் அங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே. Thank you.
Thank you. Pragyan, one of the largest technical fests of India, is wholly student run. But during times of struggles and challenges, our faculty advisor, Dr. Shobita Polos, has always served as a shining example of inspiration and encouragement. We now call upon her to deliver the welcome address.
Very good evening, everyone. Okay. Over the course of 3 phenomenal days, the nexus of humanity and technology has been put on display at Pragyan 22, the ISO certified techno-managerial festival of NIT Trichy. In addition to the being first ever festival to be held on Metaverse, the diverse workshops, the interviewing guest lectures, stellar infotainment shows, exhibitions and competitions ensured that this year edition of Pragyan provided itself to be one of the best editions yet. With the end of this unforgettable festival, I would like to extend a warm welcome to the esteemed dignitaries on the dais who will be joining us today. The chief guest of today's auspicious ceremony, Mr. MI Payments Private Limited, an alumni from our prestigious institute. Mr. Srini had an eventful career that encompassed many or mega companies like Bharati Airtel and Hindustan Unilever. We are glad to have you join us today, sir. Becoming accustomed to the new normal has not been an easy task for us. With the fest held through a hybrid mode after 2 years, This showcase of technology and would not have been possible without the unwavering support of our beloved director, Dr. G. Aguila. The key element behind the massive success of FEST, Dr. G. Aguila has not only answered the call to action, but has gone leagues beyond. On behalf of everyone present here, thank you for your never-ending support in making this festival the incredible accomplishment it has become. On, a constant source of inspiration and a driving force of innovation at NIT Trichy, I welcome Dr. S. Muthukumaran, the Dean of Research and Consultancy. Under his guidance, the Institute was able to surmount impossible odds and maintain its reputation as one of the leading research institutions in the country. We are grateful that you found time out of your busy schedule to be with us today, sir. I would like to move on with our Dean Students Welfare, Dr. Kumareshan, sir. I take this opportunity with all my heart. I welcome Dr. Kumareshan, Dean Students Welfare, who has been a constant support for the entire activities and programs as part of Pragyan. On behalf of everyone, I welcome you to the grand ceremony, sir. The 3-day extravaganza possible, if not fantastic sponsors. Thanks to their ceaseless support over Pragyan 2022, able to completely focus on promoting wonders of science, management, and technology. To give us an idea about the logistics involved in the fest, we have with us today Mr. Shabarinathan, the head of Pragyan 2022, marketing team, Mr. Vishwa Subramanian Bharathan, and the treasurer of Pragyan 2022. I also welcome Mr. Ayush Singh and Mr. Rakesh Verma, the co-heads of NIT Trichy's Technical Council. And I also Maladi, the co-heads of NIT Trichy's exhibitions, Sangam and Ingenium. Last but not least, I heartily welcome all the students and the members of Team Pragyan and the coordinators of Team Pragyan, my fellow faculty and HODs, and my fellow faculty members and the staff of NIT Trichy to the valedictory ceremony. I would like to end by quoting See Joy Bell See. Ends are not bad things. They just mean that something else is about to begin. And there are many things that don't really end anyway. They just begin again in a new way. Once again, I welcome you all to the grand ceremony of Pragyan 22. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Pragyan and our institute aim at promoting scientific research and technological advancements. Leading this venture with determination and enthusiasm, he has been a driving force towards achieving this goal. We now call upon the Dean of Research and Consultancy, Dr. S. Muthukumaran, to deliver the Dean's address.
So, respected Director, Professor Aguila, in Professor Kumaresan, Chief Guest, our alumnus, Mr. Sinu, Faculty Advisor, Dr. Shabita, Program Team, students, faculty members, deans, registrar, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening. So, this Pragyan is very special. This Pragyan we are celebrating along with Holi. This is very special. And this has added lot of color to our knowledge. Now our knowledge is having multicolor. So this is really very special. We are delighted to be part of this function. And just I would like to give some idea how to move forward. Now we got lot of idea. You can see one, but it should not end with this. Common people should enjoy the benefit. That should be our goal. So for that, let me give you a short presentation for 10 minutes, say 10 minutes. So this will be really helpful to you to make your idea into a real product and take it forward. Okay. So you can see a cat. You are able to see the slide. The objective of this lecture to make at least 10 startup evolve out of this Pragyan 22. That is my objective. And you can see a cat. It is having novelty. It identified, spend some time to locate a place where he can enjoy peaceful sleep. Isn't it? See, cat is having novelty. Because nobody could disturb. So, when it is so we have a lot of novelty with us. If you properly give shape to your idea, definitely it can solve some social problem. Just I want to highlight today. And our people were more innovative. You can see Kallanai, very adjacent to us. Many of you would have visited. Second century, around second century it was built. One of the oldest serving dam in the world is Kallanai. So no doubt our people are more creative. So similarly, I belong to metallurgy department. Wood steel. This also was developed around second century. First high strength steel made in the world. So people learned steel technology from us. So this is near Erode, Kudumanal, one village. This was made in second century. So see zero. India added 0 to max. If you see digital technology, mathematics, the origin, if you go, it is 0. That is from us. So no doubt we are more innovative, no doubt in it. So in our country, just if you go north, east, west, south, many monuments which reflects our creativity, our innovation. Am I right? Whether I am right or wrong, no doubt in it, no iota of doubt. We are innovative, our people are innovative. But unfortunately, in top list, small countries are in innovation index. Small countries are there. We are not in that list. If you see that side, so many ventures, business, okay, industries are in the top list. We are not in that list. So, little bit later, university institution like us invented many interesting products, breakthrough inventions. Just I listed. I'm not reading one by one. Let me share this slide. You can see. Like us, they invented so many things, contributed in big way. And thanks to the government taken enormous steps to improve our innovation index. Lot of hackathon, Make in India, so many schemes. So it is improving. We are recovering. We are getting our glory back. And see startup, you can see world 10 best startups are listed here. And you can see this is a very interesting slide. Top 10 countries by number of startups. India, you can see second position. It's very interesting. Number of startups. Very encouraging. This is because the initiative taken by our government. And now only startup can solve our problem, unemployed problem. We have many demands. We are a variety of people. With a variety, we need variety of products that can be fulfilled only by startup. So this was realized, and now it is the mantra. And you see, India's best performing startups. Some list is here. So you can see latest edition, better performing 21. The companies which entered are doing exceptionally well. I'm happy to share with you our students. They are doing excellent innovation now, and the startups. Now slowly the culture is picking up in our campus also. That is very encouraging. And see, US we are telling number one in startup, but you see, Indians are contributing big way. Just you see the slide. Indian contribution, immigrant Indians are contributing big way in US also. This I have taken from our websites. Okay. Startup hubs. We have many initiatives taken by the government, both state and central government, to boost startup. Okay. This is another. We talk about startup. We can study number of books about startup, but ultimately, just I would like to share few interesting points about startup. When I was a kid, I asked my father, what is different between doing business, going to job? My father said, take a sugar can. If you eat from bottom to top, like going to job. Because initially it will be sweet, later on it will be boring. If you go business, if you want to do business, it is like eating sugar cane from top to bottom. Initially, lot of struggle, later you will enjoy. But I have different opinion. Passion. If you are teaching, go in teaching. If your passion is army, go to army. Your passion is startup, do startup. If you give respect to your passion, this is like eating sugar cane in the middle always from the day one to throughout your professional career. That's what I feel. I may be wrong, but each and every individual having their own capability. Uniqueness. Kannadasan, famous writer, many of you are knowing. He will write a script non-stop, 50 pages, non-stop. Not simple. So interesting script he used to write. Non-stop, 50 pages. This is passion. He's very passionate in writing. So this photo I took a few days back from my terrace. This gives us lot of lesson. You can see a peacock is sitting in the leaf of coconut tree, isn't it? Such a heavy bird. It's not having any fear of falling. How? Because it has faith in its wing. Government may give you a lot of initiatives. Institute may support you, but ultimately you should have confidence on you. Isn't it? We can read 1,000 books about swimming, but we should jump into water. Startup, you should have faith in you. Even if I fail, I can bounce back. That is very, very important. Nobody, that is a saying, nobody could hurt you without your consent. That means what? I know my value. I know my value. I'm not bothered. I will bounce back. That confidence is important for a startup. All right? You agree with me? Yes, fine. So this bird is enjoying the sunrise because even it falls, it has faith in its wing. It can bounce back. So for startup or to be successful in a professional career, you should have self-confidence. You should realize your value. That is most important. Nobody could hurt you without your consent. Don't lose your balance. Okay? In your life, you should tell, yes, I know my value. I have. Whatever people tell, yeah, I know my value. That is very important. Creative idea business. Very simple example, let me take and try to explain very simplest way possible. This photograph I took in my native place, Puducherry. And you can see left side and right side almost identical. XLS. The left side fellow What he did, to avoid delay, the customer can come, he developed an app, no need to pay, they can pick the packet and they can go. So very less time, because no need to get down the vehicle, no need to ask rate, just they can, in the vehicle they can sit and they can take and they can go. They can pay by GPay, by app. This is the idea he got and he implemented, left side fellow. And by seeing this, right, same way he started his business. Same way he arranged, same LED lamp, same display board. Whether this is legal or illegal, this is, whether this is infringement. See, that's what IPR. IPR knowledge, a small vendor also should know the knowledge of IPR. As per Indian law, the method of doing business, you cannot patent. This is not an infringement. But the supply chain, where he is purchasing, okay, how, what is his, who are his customers? The app he created can be copyrighted. And if you engage one person in his shop, you should first sign agreement. You should not disclose to anybody about his secret, trade secret. Isn't it? So by that he can protect his business. So why I am telling, a small egg seller to have the IPR awareness. Method of doing business cannot be filed a patent as per according to our Indian law. But he should have the basic IPR awareness to sustain in his business. Just I want to tell. Whether you are going to serve in a corporate, whether you are going to start your own venture, IPR is important. Why? Just following slide, I'll make you to realize that. So property can be divided into tangible and intangible. Tangible means I can see building, car, scooter, mic, everything is I can see. Intangible, which is not visible. I'm writing a song, I'm writing a story, I'm inventing something. These are all intangible. Tangible property, I am spending money, time, I'm doing research, I'm able to purchase a house. 20 years of saving I am purchasing. Isn't it? So to invent something, I'm spending money. I'm spending my valuable time. If it is not protected, I cannot earn money. But tangible, very easy to protect, because yeah, this I am selling to you. You give me 20 rupees. That's all. But how to, because this intangible property is a creation of mind. Mind is complex. Creation of mind is more complex. Protecting that is more complex. So that is what IPR. Unless it is protected, you will not get motivated to do more invention. Isn't it? Country cannot develop. So that is what IPR. Everybody should have the knowledge of IPR. So this is another interesting slide. Suppose previously people used to ask, how many coconut tree you have, how many acres of land you have, how many trucks you have, how many cattle you have. But now nobody is asking those questions. Now people are asking, what is your qualification? Where you got job? Isn't it? See, because the contribution of intangible properties, maximum 90% our wealth is intangible property. The question got changed. You can see. So this intangible property should be protected by IPR, that is intellectual property rights. That's all IPR. Able to follow? So 90% of our wealth is intangible property. So IPR deal with protecting that. Unless it is protected, you cannot make it commercial. Yes. So just a share of intangible property is shown here. And okay, let me skip this. So unless your invention is protected, you will not get motivated. Unless it is protected and you are able to earn out of it, you will not get motivated. So we should protect. Simple way, just to make you understand, I took many maps, and there the IP law is strong. their more innovation tax is better, their wealth is better, because 90% wealth is intangible property. Is it clear? Yes. Let me go to the next slide. Two scenarios I am showing. I took two images. One image less vehicle, another image more vehicles. So for this I compared with IPR to make you to understand better. See, good traffic rule should be there, good IP law, right side. There, the road user should know the traffic rule. Here, all the student, faculty, the corporate, they should know what is the rights. And enforcement of traffic law, here enforcement of IP law. Good infrastructure, here good IP infrastructure. So IP is very important now because 90% of wealth is IP. Okay. So just one example, I will tell about startup, simple case study. And was created by 7 non-reading but skilled women. Okay, with the investment of 80 rupees. Initially they were making 4 packets of peppers per day. So river cut through the rock not because of power but persistence. Today they are able to give job to 40,000 people. This is what the power of startup. This is what our country needs. So a common woman can do this much, means you people have lot of potential with you. You can do many wonders. You can do many wonders. No doubt in it, isn't it? But you should, whatever you have, you should realize your potential and properly you should take it forward. That is more important. So, and Tesla. Now, Tesla proved that commercially electric vehicle is feasible. Commercially, it can be successful. You see, this picture gives lot of information to us. So they are leading in the auto market. Innovation-based startup, innovation-based business. Okay, with the business strategy. Okay. So finally, I would like to discuss 3-4 slides on opportunity for startup, because now we got lot of ideas. I visited the different stalls. I could see wonderful ideas. Wonderful ideas. Very simple way solution. Very interesting. Lot of what is issue is there. Lot of fishermen are facing problem. Our student, the sea bass, they created one model. The drone, very interesting. Many ideas are there. But I would like to give you some tips. Before spending time and money, you do the patents. Otherwise, reinventing the wheel. You may not be able to file patent, you may not be able to get the outcome from that. Able to follow. So you should find a pattern search. Yes, these people did. Here nobody attempted. I am attempting. I am solving this problem. Yes, it can be filed. You will get the patent right. You can get lot of income out of that. Because drone, this is going to make a revolution. But properly, you should be focused. Okay. Just let me highlight some of the opportunities. See, startup opportunity not only for anywhere, whether village or city or any developed country, anywhere startup opportunities are there. Everywhere we need startup, where we need some need to be fulfilled. So here a lot of innovative way you can build a house. Similarly, if you see the city, you can think about electric vehicles, electric two-wheelers. So everywhere the opportunity, it is never in. So in our country, lot of problem we are facing. These are all can be addressed by startups. It is win-win. Country is getting benefited, and we can also getting a good business. So anyone who have never made a mistake has never tried anything new. So we should not fear failure. Failure, we should bounce back. We should have confidence on us. So failure is part and parcel of any business. But we should bounce back. So institution like us invented great things. Just some of the things I listed here, Google. and so many things are from institution like us. And now today there was an article on neon, because Russian steel manufacturing, they're making, and Ukraine, they used to refine it and they used to give. But now the cost is so high, we are not in products. So this can be addressed by startups. Because what is now needed, that should be focused, that should be okay, that should be addressed. That is a need of the startup. And you see, university like us, they invented vaccine. And I should thank our director. Last week, Thursday, we got an invitation. Wednesday, we got an invitation from MSME. We are doing a lot of MSME projects, and the inauguration was on Friday. I thought of skipping, but our director motivated and to attend and grab some opportunity. I visited there, and the ministry, they felicitated us. And because we are doing many MSME activities, we are the implementing agency for MSME ministry, and Minister Honorable Narayan. So he felicitated our institute. Just I will tell about the scheme. You products. Now, how to take it forward? That's what another 3 slides I'm going to discuss. Okay. So MSME Idea Hackathon. Its last date is 24/3/22. Few more days are there. Recently launched, only there's few days are given. So we also registered as part of host institute. Probably tomorrow they may include us in the list. So I'll tell you how to apply this. Anybody can join. Any innovator can join. Not only student of this. Anybody having mobile number, they can email, they can join. There is no restriction. And MSME units can join. And finance support up to 15 lakhs per approved idea shall be provided by the host institute. See, we suppose NIT, you select NIT as a host institute, your idea is approved, it will come to NIT, and you can build your prototype. It will be supported. NIT will support you to convert this as a good startup. That is the approach. So I'll tell you how to. Let me tell you how to use this opportunity. Okay. So this is the website. Let me share the slide with you. Here you can click there, submit proposal. First you should be registered. It need only very simple registration process. They made it so simple that anybody can register. So only mobile number, you will get OTP. If you put OTP, you will register. And you should select host institute. You can select our institute as host institute. By tomorrow, I hope it will appear our institute. And MSME unit also can register. Up to 10 ideas, you can, each and every individual can give up to 10 ideas. Okay. So it will undergo a rigorous process. And then if your idea is approved, you will be given 10 lakhs to make a prototype and make it as a commercial product. That will be taken care by the host institute. Mentor will be arranged. Those facilitation will be done by the institute. So any question, students? I hope I given some tips to how to make this Pragyan more special. If 10 products are done with good startups emerge, that is really good success, because society is going to benefit. We are going to get a new experience, and next year it would be 100, isn't it? So definitely good scope is there. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Any question, I am welcome. Any question, or at least 1 or 2 questions you can ask, so that I can share my experience. So our IPR cell, our institute, if you have some good innovative idea and product, you can file. Expenditure will be taken. Very nice initiative taken by the government of India is, for the institution, they give 80% discount in patent filing all charges. 80%, 80. So the aim is to boost our innovation tax, patent filing. So our institute completely, all the expenditure institute. Students, you are requested to make use of this opportunity Whatever product you developed, you file patent, protect your idea, and make it as a commercial product. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. For Pragyan and the many student run organizations in our college, there is one soul who not only helped us improve, but also helped us get one step closer to achieving perfection. A mentor, a guiding light, and a man of action, supporting us from behind the curtains as we play our roles on the stage. Please welcome our Dean of Students' Welfare, Dr. N. Kumaresan, as he delivers the students' address.
Vanakkam, Namaste, and good evening to all of you. As a show, all good things will come to an end, and now we are standing the last part of Pragyan 2022. In fact, we started with smoothly moving from the Pragyan online mode to offline mode, and I'll tell you that team of Pragyan 2022 did exceedingly well, and a big round of applause for your well planned and day and night work. And in fact, the chairperson Ragul used to come, sir. So I used to say, plan, execute it properly, and see that online to off. We did that. In fact, yesterday evening I came this side. I have not seen these stalls. Tomorrow morning, today morning, I really wondered how it is happened in a shorter duration. It means you students need that opportunity for executing what you think. So now our Dean RNC mentioned a lot of procedure for innovations, creativity, and so on. And I am sure with your dedication and knowledge, you will do it. Now, where is the gap? So the gap is we need to provide the opportunity for you to execute it. Now, after 2015, our institute is enjoying the flexible curriculum structure. So, in fact, our final year students and that additional electives so that they can complete most of the courses in online and they want to enjoy only that offline one or two subjects. So wherever the opportunity is there, our students are very good and they will use it. And having said that, from 2015 we have started the flexible curriculum structure, and now to accommodate the startups and other things, institute team is working on that. And already our director, Professor Akila, is very keen on giving that the slot for creating such startups. And with our leadership and also the Dean RNC and other faculty members and number of, see, we have that n number of laboratories. Now all the laboratories are, we are well equipped. Now all the laboratories should be fully utilized for your benefit. Startup needs some for spending on that, so you cannot concentrate on the subject. So therefore you need some slot to take up the startup and have the break and then join the course later. So I'm sure that online Professor Bhaktavachalam is coordinating on NEP 2020. He is listening our whatever that Professor Muthukumar has presented and what we are talking, and he will certainly, we will include the opportunity for the students to have the more startups and other things. Now, in many of the slides, Professor Muthukumaran mentioned that creativity, innovation, etc. So, creativity, innovation, it's not that one day affair. So, you have to focus on your curriculum, course, and perseverance. Automatically, it will come, because when you want to identify the creativity, the meaning of creativity is what is compared to the existing one. So that will more literature reviewing on what is existing and in what way yours is better, and how you can make it as a product or business model. So you have to spend more time on that, and I am sure if the opportunity is given to our students, you will do it. So from the students welfare office, we are always there for you, and we will fund for all the technical club activities. I'm extremely happy that the morning I visited almost all the stalls, and all the students who are in each project were also more interested in explaining that what they have developed it. It's really good, and a big round of applause for that Sangam team. Extraordinary. Very good. So having said this, the Sangam team can develop whatever the product you have developed or demonstrated booklet. Maybe the will also think, and the Professor Bhaktavachalam also I requested to think what are all the content to be there in that brochure, and we'll put it on our website. If somebody is interested, they can sponsor, because our alumni, they are very generous in funding the projects, so they will do that. And on on the final note, our institute is headed by women, and Pragyan also coordinated by two women faculty members, faculty advisors. Maybe they know the neck of taking that, because always if you take in your house, father is always very strict, like what I did to Ragul and others. But the faculty advisor, two women, they are cordial with you and they made you to work. And now we are seeing the success and very good, smooth transition from the online to offline Pragyan 2022. Thank you all and do well. All the best.
Thank you, sir. As an inspirational leader at the forefront, sculpting the finesse of the fest, the success of Pragyan was assured. She has been the right source of motivation and encouragement during times of tribulations. It is now time to show our humble gratitude to our director for being our constant pillar of support. I request our director, Dr. G. Aguila, to deliver the presidential address.
Yeah, warm wishes and good evening to all. I hope everyone would have enjoyed all the 3 days. Mr. Srini, our alumnus, a special welcome to you. It's my pleasure to be a part of this valedictory function of Pragyan 22, which we have witnessed over the past 3 days. Technology is the tool used humanity to revolutionize and shape the fast-paced future. I'm sure that the wide range of events conducted would have given a lot of takeaways. Generally, impact, scale, and novelty are the factors defines greatness. I am confident that it is undeniable that Pragyan 22 has transcended superficial boundaries, inspired by conventions, and has had an insightful impact on every single person who has been part of this 3 day journey. Pragyan 22 ensured the promise of every subsequent edition of Pragyan will reach greater heights than ever before. As director of NIT Trichy, it's my pride to guide, foster, and nurture this fest that is growing at an exponential rate on an unparalleled way. I hope a plethora of events would have compelled the participants to dive deep into the depths of human conscience to create technological breakthroughs, founding few bricks towards building a better world in the future. In this world, every actionable change is met with a myriad of questions. This year, this year's edition of Pragyan sought to try to answer a few of them through the preliminary guest lecture series, covering the topics of paramount importance such as clean water management, COVID vaccine, quantum computing, and much more. The Sangam Intra-College Exhibition and Ingenium, the inter-college exhibition would have shown the perspective and need of society from a technological point of view. The infotainment shows would have attracted everyone at the end of each day. The incorporation of the metaverse in this year's edition ensured that Pragyan 22 enjoyed the best of both online and offline worlds. The 3D virtual representation of the campus using features of the metaverse was the first ever implementation in India for a college fest. I'm sure it would have opened many windows for the young minds, intellectuals, and technocrats to approach the existing problems, issues, and in providing solutions too. My dear student friends, this 3-day fest would have made a great leap in transforming your thinking, thoughts to emerge as leading innovators of the field of your choice. Best wishes and greetings for the next edition of Pragyan. Dear students, grab the opportunity what Dean RNC has shared with you. Sangam team, be alert. So Institute is with you through National Education Policy 2020. So at this moment, I congratulate the entire team for this grand success. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Pragyan is extremely honored to welcome the Managing Director and CEO of BTI Payments Limited, Mr. Srinivas K, our chief guest for the day. An alumnus of our prestigious college, Mr. Srinivas hails from a mechanical engineering background and completed his master's degree from IIM Bangalore. Under his leadership, the company has emerged as a global leader in ATM and POS terminal management across various countries like Australia, India, Hong Kong, New Zealand, and UAE. We now call upon Mr. Srinivas K to address the gathering.
Thank you very much. It's really an honor to be, uh, you know, honored and in fact a privilege to be back at NIT Trichy, albeit on a offline mode. My sincere thanks to the entire organizing committee and to the director and the dean of NIT for inviting me to this particular event. In fact, I was just reflecting that it's been almost about 38 years since I graduated from. Back then, of course, we still call it REC Trichy. I don't call it NIT Trichy because we studied there for 4 years, and to wipe off the term REC and get NIT into that is very hard for some of old timers such as ours. But it almost feels like it was yesterday. In fact, I was just looking at some of the visuals of the college, and in fact, I was looking at some of the young faces that one sees in the video, and it really brings a lot of nostalgia back again. The 38 years that I talked about, it feels as if it was just yesterday that I graduated. All those fun events that one had, the festimbers that we had, and the enormous amount of learning that we had, from the college. And in fact, we all of us owe a lot back to the college, because today, whatever that we are, whatever that we have done, either professionally or in personal lives, I think a large part of that certainly goes back to the institute, which actually groomed you to be what you are. Just to introduce myself quickly, after graduating from REC Trichy or NIT Trichy in mechanical engineering, I went to IIM Bangalore. Probably I was one of the few students back then in 1984 not to sort of take the more popular route of going abroad, going to the US and doing an MS in probably mechanical engineering. That's what I would have done. But I sort of stuck to doing management. Today I don't claim myself to be a technologist. I don't honestly I don't claim myself to be an engineer, though I had my grounding in REC Trichy. But I think after having graduated from IIM Bangalore, I did all kinds of things, including selling soaps to biscuits to mobile phones. I spent a long time with Hindustan Lever. I spent a long time with Airtel. I used to head Airtel's mobile and fixed line and DTH businesses for India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. Uh, I think when the startup bug was just about starting, I took the plunge from moving from the more cushier jobs in large corporates into a startup myself, and we set up with ICICI Ventures, which actually put in a lot of money. That's a private equity company, and BankTech, which is an Australian company, they put in a lot of money. We set up today what is known as India on Payments. We are the largest. We are an RBI licensed entity, and we are the largest white labeled ATM operator in India. I was also very intrigued. When the dean, Professor Muthukumaran, was actually saying that it's very heartening to see Pragyan become an offline company. Today, most organizations actually love to be online rather than offline. So whether you take an Amazon or a Flipkart, in fact, the offline world is actually wilting. Thanks to COVID, I think some of the offline has actually come back into being a useful thing. It's not such a bad thing to be an offline company. But I think talking about some of the things which the dean and even the director was talking about, I think you heard a lot of technologies being talked about, whether it's about nanoelectronics, whether it's about crypto, quantum computing, and so on and so forth. But I think the biggest thing that I have seen in my 38 years of work experience, I think there are a couple of things which, as managers, as people who manage technology, I don't, I probably I'm as tech savvy as you can get, but I'm not a technologist. If you ask me, the technology behind any of the stuff that I've sort of done in my life, I honestly, I don't profess to know nothing about. I really don't know anything about it. But I think what is required from an organizational point of view is an enormous amount of flexibility to adapt to these changes. I can give you two examples where I have seen where people were not flexible enough, or the companies were not flexible enough, and very soon, those companies have become part of history. The one example that I can talk about is, take Nokia, for example. I used to work in Airtel, and Nokia as a mobile phone company used to be, it used to be really an envy for us. Having worked in FMCG companies like Hindustan Lever, etc., and Britannia, etc., I used to really wonder at the power of the brand Nokia, because nothing else. I mean, these guys had almost about 90% market share in India. There was not one product in any category that I've seen something which had a market share of that magnitude. But I think somewhere, when the data driven stuff came in onto the mobile phones, whether it's 3G, whether it's 4G, I think Nokia just refused to sort of change. I knew the heads of Nokia, both in India and in the Asian region. They were personal friends of mine. I had several conversations with them, but always I used to wonder, actually, why is it that these guys are refusing? Because when you're invincible, when you have a 90% market share, I think there was a certain sense of arrogance which got in, and within, you won't believe it, within a space of 2 years, Nokia got wiped out. And in fact, it just got sold at virtually zero price to Microsoft. In fact, Microsoft just bought it for the Symbian software of Nokia, but ultimately they had to sort of exit that market. And Nokia today, as a mobile phone brand, is pretty much a history. In fact, the other positive side of looking at flexibility, people, organizations which have actually shown flexibility. In fact, even if you take the more recent COVID vaccine stuff, which some of the pharmaceutical companies have sort of evolved, I mean, people like Pfizer, people like AstraZeneca, etc., etc. Within a space of 6 months to 8 months, these organizations have not only been able to build those technologies, but actually get the product out into the marketplace. That requires enormous amount of flexibility for any organization, leave alone for large organizations, it's even more difficult. So I think one of the things as managers that I'm sure when all of you will get into the real world tomorrow, and when you sort of look at it, I think that flexibility becomes extremely important. The third one, of course, is your ability to spot disruptions. I think one of the other things that I can talk about with a lot of personal experience is, and I've seen that in my own eyes. In fact, we see that all around us. You take, let's say, Visa and Master. Compare that with, they had a pretty large business, globally. They still have a large business globally. In India too, they were market leaders by far. Between Visa and Master, they used to have almost about 90% market share in the payments business. Come UPI in 2000, post demonetization, it came up in 2018. 2019 is when it actually started to get momentum. Today UPI is pretty much wiped out. I'm sorry, Visa and Master are pretty much wiped out in India. I think clearly, again, the disruptions. I mean, what one always wonders what prevented, let's say, somebody like a Google, somebody like a Facebook, or somebody like with its WhatsApp, or somebody like even a Visa and Master, not to have embraced UPI. It's a bit too late. Even relatively at that time, unknown companies like PhonePe, Google, of course, is a large company which has invested into it. But the first two guys, which is basically Google and PhonePe, now pretty much occupy almost about 90% market share in this space. Even a company like Amazon, even a company like Facebook, with its WhatsApp, with almost about 400 to 500 million customers in India, is not able to penetrate that market, beyond what these two guys have done, which is PhonePe and Google. So clearly, companies like Visa and Master refused to sort of spot those disruptions, continued to believe in what they were doing, and incidentally just got wiped out. The other thing, of course, which is also happening in now that many of you are talking about startups, talking about new ideas, it's also getting to be very, very expensive, and extremely risky for many of these startups, to be alive. Because one of the key things which is actually happening is some of the technology changes are happening too frequently, and the time gap between one technology to the next technology, I think that's really shortening. I can again talk with some personal experience in this space. When we launched in Airtel, not in Airtel, let me take a slightly global stance on that. When you sort of look at 3G as a technology, when 3G was launched, we had almost about 12 to 15 years to monetize all the investments that we had put in 3G. Come 4G, which actually came up sometime around 2010, 2011 timeframe. And today you're almost talking about the fact that 4G is almost gone. So the time frame that one had to monetize the investments on this new technology, has shrunk from 15 years to almost about 10 years. You're not talking about 5G, and already trials for 6G have started. So therefore, my guess is that on 5G, the time frame to monetize the assets, is just about 3 to 4 years, and that is what actually makes life for most of the Indian managers, especially, even more difficult, for the simple reason that we operate in an environment which is typically low on margins, high on volume. I mean, that's broadly in many categories across. Whether you take telecom, whether you take data, whether you take soaps, whether you take whichever one, whatever you take in India, in general, our margin structures are fairly tight, and that's probably got to do with the purchasing capability of people. But we operate on massive amounts of volumes that we get. Now, when the technology cycles actually get crunched, and you don't have enough time to monetize, that makes your life far more difficult. So at one level, the disruptions are happening, and I'm sure they'll continue to happen at an even more rapid pace. In fact, the dean was actually showing the number of startups, which have become unicorns and so on and so forth. Honestly, I'm probably a little bit of an old world manager. Sorry, my apologies. I think I hope I'm back. Hello.
Yes, sir. You're
Yeah.
audible.
Okay. Sorry. So clearly, I think for people, the challenge is obviously to sort of it's getting to be while on one side the disruptions are happening, on the other side the skill sets of people are have to change rapidly, and that's where at an individual level as well as managers, I think we need to be a lot more flexible. We need to be able to sort of quickly unlearn some things and relearn a lot of new things. Because if we don't do that, very soon we will get extinct ourselves. So I would probably want to sort of end that there by saying that I think what you guys are doing, is a massive amount of effort. I happen to sort of see some glimpses of it on the website. It looks extremely, encouraging, and I wish I personally would have loved to sort of be there in Trichy myself. We did go there probably about 7 to 8 years ago for a reunion of our batch. But it's always will be a pleasure to go back to the institute, go back to my hostel Topaz, where I spent a long time, and would be wonderful to sort of relive those memories of the institute. But I think Pragyan, a student-led activity, which I think you guys are doing a wonderful job, and in whatever way practicing managers such as us can support the initiative, can be part of the initiative. We would be more than happy to sort of associate, with the institute. In fact, the current alumni head, Mahalingam, is a close friend of mine. We sort of went to college, the same batch. We're together. Mali is doing a great job, but I think he's at least brought NIT into the mind space of people like us. But a lot of us, I'm sure, would love to give back to the institute, what we've taken from the institute. So with that, let me end by wishing Pragyan and the institute all the very best, and we'll be happy to sort of be of any help to anyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The Pragyan 22 marketing team worked tirelessly behind the scenes, forging collaborations with multiple tech corporations and organizations for the numerous riveting events and workshops. We now have Mr. Sabarinathan, head Pragyan marketing team, to deliver the marketing report of Pragyan 2022.
Before I start, I would like to extend my gratitude to all the dignitaries present with us today, the participants, and my fellow organizers. I'm not someone who likes quotes, but courage is the power to let go of the familiar. If anyone knows about it, it's Pragyan this year. The last year has been testing our abilities to get accustomed to frequent changes, with 2 waves of COVID-19 hitting us and changing us from offline to an online fest very frequently, and us adjusting to it every single time within days. Given this instability, we have had a core team that is adapted in days every time this oscillation occurs, and yet after months of such tiresome and very, very irritating oscillations, we have pulled off something that has not happened for 2 years in this esteemed institution. Kudos to the efforts of every organizer that created this fest that you can be proud of. A sponsorship might be where there are expectations from both sides and it's just a deal. That is it. But the fact is, it's not as simple as just putting sponsors on our posters or announcing them during our various events. The efforts are about a successful partnership that lasts years together. Our present by partner, Salesforce, and our quantum computing partner, Agnostic, prove this statement because it has shown us the international demand for the talent that NIT Trichy can nurture. This is only possible because of those partnerships that I spoke of, that we have developed over the years, and the credibility of this fest that we have developed and reinforced continuously. Being an organization that conducts events all year long, we started off this edition of Pragyan through Space Week and witnessed a plethora of events, guest lectures, and more, acting as a mini Pragyan on the other half of the year, where we usually do not keep any events. Pragyan isn't only about the events though. It offers various thought-provoking guest lectures, upskilling workshops, exhibitions, and this year, with the assistance of the Technical Council, we have managed to bring in an AR platform to simulate a metaverse on which this hybrid edition of Pragyan can have a new take on how a virtual event can be conducted. The guest lectures, delivered both offline and online, were enlightening to our participants. The speakers ranging from experts in space law all the way to alumni who are currently working in quantum computing. Workshops were also conducted by several reputed companies like Agnostic, Data Security, Intel, and Silicon Labs. Pragyan had extensive media coverage this year. Our platforms included the likes of Comedy Central, Grapevine, The Statesman, and AJ Cinemas. Thanks to the media relations team for taking Pragyan public once more. The initial quote on letting go of the familiar probably applies more to the marketing and the media relations team than it did to a lot of others. Our team by bringing in second years for the first of our team, changing our induction processes completely, and all people in our team. It was an uphill battle for sure. I would like to thank my ex-heads, Ganeshan, Dheeraj, and Ashish for giving their support and guidance through these very trying times where we had to change up a lot about how we do our work. And obviously, no ship can sail without its captains. Well, multiple here. I would like to thank Rahul, Divyanjali, and Vishwa for making Pragyan possible. I'm sure everyone will know about how much effort they put into this edition of Pragyan. It was an uphill battle to get sponsorship deals in a market that has hit historic lows, training a restructured team across the Pragyan through virtual meets, and pitching Pragyan when everything was so uncertain that even our top three were unable to tell exactly what is going to happen next. But after all that, I can say with confidence that Pragyan will scale great heights for the upcoming edition as well, through a new vision untainted by past glory and unburdened by what is familiar. For one last time, NIT 22 presented by Salesforce. We are the Pragyan marketing team. Achieving big is an addiction. Staying small is our style. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabarinathan. With a range of events over various clusters, the fierce but friendly contests engaged many. All this was possible due to the work of a team which heralded the smooth. Now I call upon Mr. Ayush Singh and Mr. Rakesh Verma, Heads Technical Council, to deliver the annual report of Pragyan 22.
Greetings to one and all present here. We would like to extend a very warm welcome to all our people present here. It is a great privilege to be here with Rakesh to present the technical report for the first ever hybrid edition of Pragyan. It has proven to be an integral part of our lives, especially in the last 2 years, to allowing us to continue our education away from our dear college. Technological developments in the last year alone have created a significant impression on our lives. The theme of this year's edition, Nexus, born from the Nexus grandiose idea, exemplifies this idea of connectedness in the topics of science, tech, management, and beyond. Evolution is an important part of the technological world, and of course, Pragyan is not to be left behind. Despite all the challenges posed by COVID-19, we have successfully demarcated this edition of Pragyan from any other online event conducted by any college and NIT Trichy itself by providing our visitors with the opportunity to explore our beloved campus from the safety of their homes. This was done by collaborating with Geometry, our alumni, and providing them with a metaverse platform where people can access and act in all parts of events where they would have like they would in campus.
we provided a sneak peek of the Metaverse platform during the Pan NIT event conference. Successfully organized, and it engulfed a large audience into the student-built Metaverse experience. We had over 30 different NITs competing for winning title. A massive number of 10,000 plus participants spent 7 days, 5 hours, 6 minutes over a week-long period from across 7 different countries. The winning NIT was none other than the National Institute of Technology Tiruchirappalli, who was awarded an exclusive NFT cast with our mascot. We're extremely delighted to share that Pragyan on the Metaverse has been a huge success. We had 10,000 plus residents who visited the Metaverse and gone through flawless experience that was put together for them. Overall, the approximate time spent in the Metaverse was a staggering 2 days, 7 hours, 37 minutes over 3 days of Pragyan. Pragyan would be incomplete without event clusters. The events conducted by Pragyan this year were a huge success, and over 9,500 participants across 23 different events contained within 8 clusters that were conducted prize pool of 4,75,000. These 8 clusters span multiple disciplines and walks of life and gave participants endless enjoyment. Another Bytehawk cluster, the winners of the event are for Capture the Flag, a computer security exercise in which flags are secretly hidden in purposefully vulnerable programs and websites, was won by Team Too Fast for You in Working Professionals Division and Team CSI in Students Division. Code Characters, an AI-based strategy game, was won by Mr. Nathan Gupta. And in Concrete Cluster, the winners were for Town Trace, a real-life problem-solving contest for transportation, was won by Veeradarshana, Surya S, and Haricharan S. Under Manigma Cluster, the winners for the events are for Pragyan Premier League and Online Fantasy Cricket League was won by Harshit Agarwal. Outbreak Origins, a real-time pandemic management, was won by Sri Ramam. Attack on Robots, a strategic city planning game, was won. Under Cluster Pandora's Box, the winners for the events are for Family Feud, an event to test your creativity, was won by Partney, and VR Chef, an event to test your analytical thinking, was won by Tarun Jangir and Patikrit Saha. Under EWITS Cluster, the winners are for Big Quiz, the business quiz was won by Aditya Pahad Singh, and for How Stuff Works, an event to test your inquisitive mind, was won by Vaishnavi Murali and Anaga Seturaman.
Pragyan is incomplete without its renowned guest lecture series conducted by the CFGL team. This year, we had a plethora of great minds sharing their knowledge and wisdom to the young and budding minds. The speaker lineup was filled with inspiring people, starting from Talipip Pradeep, who is an esteemed professor of chemistry at the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Following that, we had Dr. Rakesh Agarwal, a renowned gastroenterologist and director at JIPMER, Puducherry. Next up, we had Dr. Santosh Radha, a quantum computing expert at Agnostic. The day, we also had Dr. Mark Sudal, who in last but not the least, we had Dr. Ram Gopal Rao, the director of IIT Delhi. This edition of Crossfires was filled with unforgettable and constructive discussions that made us all look at both sides of an argument. The esteemed panel consisted of moderator Mr. Jason Rodriguez, an NIT alumni and partner at Cello, and included Abhay Joshi, a partner at Economics Law Practice, Kanish Gaur, a renowned digital expert and founder of the Indian Future Foundation, Sathu Krishna, the founder and CEO of Unocoin.com, Udit Mishra, a writer and associate editor at the Indian Express, Varun Sendil, a technical lawyer who acts as the advisor for companies. Pragyan goals with its workshops every year has been to improve and upskill all its participants. Owing to this goal, the Technical Council and the workshops team hosted an incredible set of workshops on quantum computing, IoT, cybersecurity, Web 3.0, NPL, and chip designing on Quartus Prime, all in a hybrid mode. I would like to thank the workshops team for providing us with enlightening workshops that help Pragyan and his participants grow in their journey through technology.
At Pragyan, we believe in giving back to, and the social responsibility body of Pragyan has brought about astounding community reforms through their various initiatives, such as Gyani. Gyani was organized to upskill students of an orphanage in Bhopal. Another event conducted was UFOs. The aim of this event was to help remote misconceptions and half-truths about space. Canvas for Change, a poster-making contest, was held for school students to create awareness through art. And in addition to that, an informative webinar on organ donation was successfully conducted. Various initiatives of goodies as part of creating awareness on Women's Day, along with a session organized for government school students to impact basic knowledge on STEM. Pragyan's Human Books, which was started as another TC initiative, has grown into a much loud celebration of diversity and brings people from all walks of life to share their experiences and interact with wide audience, enabling both human book and the audience to create a greater impact on lives. This year, we had 4 human books life experiences, illuminating the audiences about dreams and disabilities, griefs and happiness, adventures and norms, and many more facets of life that were not commonly known.
Gamescape, the flagship gaming cluster of Pragyan, celebrates the intersection of technology with entertainment. Over 800 participants took part in the various clusters, immersing themselves in fun-filled laser tag events, virtual reality games, socializing events with board games, racing competitions, and many more such entertaining events. Pragyan would lack luster without the various shows conducted by the entertainment wing of infotainment team. BAN and GJCH were lit up with several shows which included light painting, fire show, laser show, and the much anticipated stand-up show that is happening tonight.
The growth of Pragyan is symbiotic with growth of various tech clubs in this college. It gives clubs an opportunity to conduct events in their areas of interest on a grand scheme and gives them a space to showcase and compete with projects that they had taken over previous years. Unfortunately, we were anticipated in HOTS, yet given the academic timeline of the first years. But we are happy to announce that we'll be hosting it in the coming month as a pre-induction event. I wish each club all the very best for all their future endeavors.
We live in an age of golden technology. It has been an incredible honor to be one of the heads of the Technical Council this year. I would like to take this moment to thank the Pragyan Corps, Rahul, Divyanjali, and Vishwa for their continuous support. I'd also like to thank each and every team of Pragyan 22, ambience, content, events, exhibition, Sangam and Ingenium, guest crossfires, infotainment, marketing, media relations, organizing committee, public relations and logistics, publicity, quality assurance, social responsibility, and workshops for the valuable contributions to the success of this fest. And of course, I would like to thank all our alumni for setting up this amazing system of clubs, fests, and teams over the years for all of us to enjoy.
I would like to take this moment to thank Kishore for trusting us and giving us the responsibility. And of course, I'd like to thank my for being a constant pillar of support. My team of 13 coordinators, 15 deputy managers, 8 managers, for pulling off an astounding edition of Pragyan that every participant would remember for the years yet to come. We can't thank enough each one of you for the hundreds of hours you guys have spent every day, all this time to make this happen for whatever we dreamed of. Now we can say, without a doubt, you guys give us a problem. Our team will find our way through it. This is Ayush, Rakesh, and Ruth, heads of technical council, signing off from Pragyan 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayush and Rakesh. Before we proceed, I request our Dean, Students Welfare, Dr. N. Kumaresan, to present our chief guest, Mr. Srinivas K., with the Pragyan Moment. As Dr. Shobita Paulos, Faculty Advisor of Pragyan 22, to receive the memento guest. I invite Mr. Vishwa, the Treasurer of Pragyan 22, to present our Dean, Research and Consultancy, Dr. S. Muthukumaran, with the memento.
Sangam is the intra-collegiate competition conducted for circuital and non-circuital ventures. This year, Sangam Hardware Hackathon and Case Study were successfully conducted. This event saw immense participation from students of various streams. Ingenium is intercollegiate contest held between various colleges across South India. Each project displayed received mentorship from the leading companies of various industries.
It's time to announce the winners of Sangam and Ingenium. I request our Dean Students Welfare, Dr. N. Kumaresan, along with our faculty advisor, Dr. Shobita Paulos, to step forward and felicitate the winners of Sangam and Ingenium as they are announced. I call upon Dhruti, the head of Pragyan Exhibitions, Sangam and Ingenium, to announce the winners.
Good evening, one and all present here. Before I move on to the results, I would like to thank everyone, all the Sangam and Ingenium participants, for putting their 101% efforts and dedication for the last couple of months and bringing it to here. Today, I would like to thank Sign for sponsoring Sangam Hardware before I move on to the results. And now, coming to the results, I would like to start off with Ingenium Finalists. There are 6 teams that have been finalized for the Ingenium competition. The first place has been bagged by the team Ameliorate. And the second place goes to the team Drone Vision in Ingenium. And the third place is the team which is bagged in the third position for Ingenium. The team Electron and the team Dot Industries and the A team bagged the 4th, 5th and 6th positions as in the Ingenium. Moving forward, I would like to call upon the Sangam case study finalists, and the first place goes to team CGI. And the second place in Sangam case study goes to the team Aster Inc. And the third place goes to team No Banner in the Sangam case study. And then the final one is the Sangam Hardware. We have 3 teams. One is the defense, the second one is the energy, and the third one is the healthcare. Talk about defense. The first place goes to Team Levy. And the second place in the team defense is backed by Team Aribot. The third place in the team defense goes to Team Seabass. Moving on to the next team, that is the energy. The first place goes to Team Caltech. The second place under the team energy and environment goes to Team Albatross. The third place goes to Team Ever. Moving forward, the healthcare team. In the first place goes to Team SSC. The second place goes to Team Backup. And the third place in the healthcare team goes to Team Anvi. Once again, I would like to give thanks to all the Ingenium and Sangam participants for making a Pragyan 22 a grand success. Thank you.
Possessing a firm persona and having the ability to shoulder immense responsibilities are salient traits for being a treasurer. Ensuring that the fest runs smoothly without a hitch is a demanding task, and his execution has been flawless. I now request the treasurer of Pragyan 22, Mr. Vishwa Subramanian Baradan, to deliver the vote of thanks. We request everyone to remain seated. I repeat, we request everyone to remain seated.
Coming together. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is Henry Ford. Good evening to our chief guest, Mr. Srinivasan K. Director ma'am, deans, faculty, management committee, and to all gathered over here. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this solemn occasion. I thank our director, Dr. G. Agila ma'am, and the administration without whom this fest would not have been possible. I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the chief guest, Mr. Srinivasan K., who spared time from this busy schedule to grace the occasion. I thank our Dean Student Welfare, Dr. N. Kumaresan sir, Associate Dean Dr. Gerald sir, Faculty Advisor Dr. Shobita Paulos ma'am, and Dr. Elarasi ma'am for their never-ending support and guidance. I would like to extend my gratitude Dr. S. Muthukumaran sir, Dean Research and Consultancy, and Dr. Ram Kalyan sir, Dean Academic, for their kind presence on this momentous occasion. I would also like to thank our registrar, Dr. Arivadagan sir, the entire registrar's office, and SBI REC branch for taking time out of their busy schedule financial support for Pragyan. I extend my gratitude to Mr. R. Narayanan sir, Executive Engineer, Estate Maintenance Office, and its staff for arranging facilities on time. I thank the entire hostel office and the hostel convener, Reddy sir, for providing timely logistical support whenever needed. I thank all HODs, professors, and faculties of all departments, CSD head, Dr. Bhaskar sir, and the entire CSD team for supporting audio visuals and computing for all our events. I thank all the deans and their office staff whose contribution in the various aspects ensured that we could pull off the first ever hybrid edition of Pragyan. I thank the Chief Security Officer, Mr. Murugan sir, for helping us in every possible way to run the fest smoothly, and I also thank the entire security office for ensuring that Pragyan was conducted in a safe and orderly manner. I thank an electricity department for ensuring undeterred availability of basic facilities through the duration of the fest. I thank the NITT hospital, its doctors, nurses, and all medical staff for ensuring a safe and enjoyable Pragyan. I thank Trichy Corporation, the collector's office, and the police department for the support they provide to the college and Pragyan. I also thank all sanitary workers for all the housekeeping services they provide in keeping our halls, corridors, and streets clean while Pragyan happened and throughout the academic year. I would like to thank our generous alumni, Recal, and the sponsored initiative signed for helping the fest run smoothly and for sponsoring Sangam. It would be amiss if I forget to thank Graphic, Pixelberg, and Technical Council for their invaluable support. I would like to thank all the Pragyan team heads for making the fest a huge success in hybrid mode. It would have been impossible without the help of the managers, deputy managers, and coordinators of Pragyan teams to have pulled this off and have offline Pragyan events, guest lectures, and shows for the first. I also thank my treasury team for the dedication and effort throughout the last 2 months. I would like to thank our media partners for the endorsement of this fest and our sponsors for providing financial support to Pragyan. I would like to specially thank the Student Council for providing much needed support. I would like to thank all our previous Pragyan heads for their guidance and sharing their insights and experience with us, whose trust gave us the opportunity to pull off the fest we have envisioned. Finally, I would like to thank my friends, family, and parents for providing support. Lastly, I, on behalf of the entire college fraternity, extend my most sincere thanks to the Almighty for giving us strength to perform our duties during the fest. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vishwa. With that, we have reached the end of the valediction ceremony of Pragyan 22. It has been a phenomenal experience making connections through the Nexus, and we believe that you have had an unparalleled experience too. We hope that the succeeding edition is bigger and better as we celebrate technology together. Catch the comedy night with stand-up comedian Nishant Suri at GJCH live at 7 p.m.